hit the fan?
Hello, YouTube. Hello, MGTOW. Hello, Red Pill. This is Red Pill in the Wind. How are y'all doing today? Now, oh, wow. 1 second. This right here is what I'd like to welcome you to another Friday evening of Shit, It's the Fan. The point where we have an assault plunger typically attached to an RPG-7 housing or receiver. And whenever you need to, you got a real, yep, there it is. Gravity sucks. Gravity's working with us and against us at the same time. Now, typically, we usually keep this pretty much unregulated, but it's what it is. Unscripted, unlike the news. Now, I'm going to talk about this trucker convoy. Now, the trucker convoy, I'm going to say what it is. It's a convoy. Am I going to be a part of it? Well, for one, you'd have to be an owner-operator, or your company would have to okay it. But if the company asks if I want to be a part of the convoy, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. If my company ever asks if I wanted to be a part of the convoy, I'm going to say yes. In a heartbeat, in a New York minute. In a New York minute. I'll go to drill, and I will come right back down to the convoy. Even if I got to pay my way, I'll go right to drill and come right back down to the convoy. If they want to ask for volunteers, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna tell them to go fuck off. It's flat out. They ask for volunteers from the National Guard after what's going on. I'm gonna tell them to fuck off. I'm gonna tell them no. I'm not stopping them. I'm not stopping anybody. I might even support them. I'm not going back down. I'm not going to help them in Washington. I'm not going to help them in D.C. no more. I went to that D.C. debacle to protect the cat. No. What was that for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. These education people, educated people, the college to graduates. Now, for me, as a trucker and a guardsman, the only way they're going to get me to basically support is they literally just tell me that's going to happen. And they're not, because I'm not jabbed. I don't got the hot shot. I don't got both hot shots. Well, I see it. They're going to start ostracizing me pretty soon. Pretty soon. When people start getting the boosters and start looking like fish on that you pulled off the deck, out to sea and onto the freaking docks. Well, it's not my problem. And when somebody gets the booster, and they start flopping around and rolling around on the floor like a ball during an earthquake, I will look over them and say, "Well, is it safe?" I'm gonna ask a stupid question: Is it safe? How'd that work out? That worked out well. It looks like it's working. Worked like a charm. That's all it is basically you've seen these celebrities dropping loose in their brains, having their brains roll around the floor, and hey, I'm right in the middle of an act. I get my period every month, and God, Jesus loves me, and then you basically fall down and oh, Jesus loves me. Could you help me find my brains? They're kind of rolling up. There they are on the ground, right there, right there, right there on the ground, rolling around. And now you got to go have somebody help you find it. And and them comedy acts, there's no doctors. And then you got the German news anchor who decided that even sitting in the chair, you're not safe because her brain started out in her head, then they kind of flopped on the table and kind of jiggled around a bit, and then went to the floor. You know, and then the weatherman, like his brains were in his head. I mean, he had a longer distance to travel. He had a much longer distance to travel. Wow, but it's perfectly safe ish. But yet on camera, people are rolling around from the booster and the boosters and stuff like that. But then again, hey, look, I'm not a medical professional, but booster rockets, yes, the booster rockets have sent them to the moon. Has sent men and women into space. And then you get the celebrities like, oh, I mean, maybe she might get the fourth shot, maybe she might get the fourth shot, you know. It's perfectly safe, perfectly kosher, perfectly, yeah, perfectly safe. About as safe as putting a bullet in my brain. But then again, what do I know? Hey, but I'm not a doctor. I'm just a freaking truck driver and a guardsman. Well, soon to be ex guardsman come June 30th. But that's neither here nor there. That'll that'll show up eventually. Wow, that'll show up eventually. Yeah, you know how that works. Flop around and oh, wow, I must have pissed somebody off because the only thing I'm getting is yeah, well, that's what it is. I think one more bot's gonna show up right about now. Like, come on, there's a third one, and there's a third one. There's another bot. Come on, you know you want to show up, but for the most part, it's gonna turn in. It's gonna be interesting. Hey, but then again, what do I know? Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can get somebody on. Yeah, well, that was expected. That was expected. Now we're just gonna talk. I'm just gonna talk random crap. Now, there's a lot of things that need to be discussed. First thing we're gonna discuss is a lot of things. If you're in the manosphere, you small channel, it's gonna be hard to give a breakout, because everything that you say, yeah, they'll shout your chat. People will shout. Some people will shout your channel out every once in a while. But if you've been in the manosphere, first things foremost, you don't add things to things that don't bring things in that don't need to be brought into the manosphere. the core tenets, and at least know some of the core tenets. Basically, in short, the core tenets is like basically don't you're not somebody else's. If it didn't come from you, basically, if you didn't come from your loins, you should not be helping him. If that person is not your family, not your nephew, not your son, not your daughter, not your niece, is in no relation to you either by your loins or a family member's loins, don't they don't need your help. They don't need your help. If you didn't produce those offspring, they're not yours. Don't help them. They're not yours. Do not help their mother because, hey, she if she doesn't need if she got this far without you, she can go you further without you. You know, it's just what it is. Just what it is. It's no hate. It's just basically it's the fact that she got this far without you. She's just gonna let it play out. Socially acceptable to have two mothers, but hey, hey, somebody's got to play the butch. A lot of things that are socially acceptable really should be socially acceptable, but then again, I'm not a legal expert, you know. And when you see things going downhill, I mean, it's just what it is. Just what it is. But for me, I'm just basically chilling in my truck, and it's probably going to be a pretty quick shit's a fan because not really feeling it for some strange reason. Second week in a row, probably because I've been basically riding along, and hey, yeah, it's what it is, and just a lot of things going on that some things I just can't wrap my head around. I can give you the best educated compilation of words, but it's pretty much gonna be not quite wrapping my head around. Like this is all from off the top of my head, you know. Just checking it every few minutes. In fact, probably gonna fall asleep on this live stream. Probably gonna fall asleep because, well, it's just what it is. Yeah, I'm probably gonna might take a break, from uploading or doing the live streams. Mostly because, well, it's kind of exhausting. It's kind of tiring. Everybody needs a break every once in a while. Everybody needs a break every once in a while. Welcome. How you doing today? Welcome to the shit it's the fan. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep this up. Don't know how long I'll be streaming, but the cutoff will be fast approaching soon, unless someone jumps in. Doesn't matter to me. Ask any, like I said, you can ask any questions you want about anything. Corey Steele, welcome. I mean, even differences of opinions, you know. But yeah, it's what it is. Yeah. Friday. Typically payday for me. I'm just trying to get the most for my buck, you know. Try to get the most for my dollar. Welcome everybody. Like I said, just give me a few seconds. Let me warm up the old brain bucket. You know, welcome. Let me warm up the brain bucket and see what happens. Cause I'm only checking this here phone for every once in a couple of minutes because, well, as people start trickling in here, they'll probably ask some questions. You know, probably ask some questions for me. I mean, this is not just my show. This is your show, and you're not subscribers. You're fellow. We're just basically scholars of life. You know, we're fellow scholars of life. Yeah, staying safe. As about as safe as I can. You know, hey, about as safe as I can on the road. You know, when you got people cutting you off because they have a chip on their shoulder, they've had a bad day, and you got to keep on moving. And just earlier today, I had somebody in a raggedy vehicle try to catch an insurance claim off of me. Well, that didn't work because they were trying, and basically hit the camera, got the license plate and everything. They don't realize that these cameras actually do get looked at, and what they do in front of the trucks. Wow, got a lot of wow, yeah, got a lot of Russian bots for that. So daggone sure. I'm only a scholar at life, you know, and over time I've learned that animals are going to some animals do have run on a fight or flight mentality, and some of them, a very select few of them, run on a wait and see, and then piss around and find out. That's what I've learned, and when I see it, if that mean yeah, I guess the people are saying that aliens do exist. Oh, great, perfect. If aliens do exist and they're trying to save us, so I'll go quietly. Either either A, either A is going to be really good, or B, I'm going to really be really tasty. I'm going to be really tasty. You know? Oh yeah, they do target truckers. And the funny thing is they don't know what trucker they're targeting. See, we're not right in the head. Many of us are not right in the head. There are three sections of people that know that I'm not right in the head. My family, the trucking company that I drive for, and the unit. They all know that I'm not right in the head. Every last one of them. Well, if I can't stop in time, I'll make an honest person out of them. I'll really break their. I mean, I'll make an honest person out of them. Well, your neck's hurt. Your neck hurts. Oh, that's great. Now, and I'm gonna just check to see if your neck hurts. Well, what happened was I had to make sure their neck was hurt. Their neck was hurt, and so I took the flashlight and reset their neck. Attempted to perform medical skills, basic or basically witch doctoring. And typically, when I see that you got a front facing camera, they typically take off running. You know, like I said, they try, but typically when I see the front facing camera, they take off running because, well, they're caught. Well, it's too late by then, but they're not. Typically, they don't get insurance. They just damage their car. And I'll tell you one daggone thing. I'm the type of person that, oh, you want to do this stuff? Like, I'll make an honest person out of you. You'll be an honest person by the end of it. In your ordeal, I'll show you what a broken neck feels like. Trying to insurance scam people. Like, these people, some of these people are just idiots, you know? Call their license plate on a CB radio. That's one of the benefits of having a CB. You call out a person's license plate whenever they're acting a straight up fool. You know, it's what it is. But hey, don't know much. Like I said, I'm still learning every day. I become a little bit more educated than I was the day before. You know, a little bit more educated than I was the day before. Still a lot of things I got to learn. Maybe the thing is, what people fail to realize is they want their children to have what they never did. Thing is, how about knowledge? Knowledge is more valuable than items and knowledge about things, about life, about the world. Fathers, if you're a father, you're gonna have to learn how. You're gonna have to rethink on how what you're teaching your children, your sons and daughters. Now, which basically brings you. I'm gonna share something that my dad told me a long time ago. Actually, I'm gonna share a couple things, but a couple lessons. Lesson one: this is as you age, observe the world around you and try to predict what your children are going to go have to go through. Another, and this is a multi-generational thing. Nothing good happens after midnight if you're not in your own bed, or after the sun goes down if you're not in your own bed. And this is multi-generational. In the 1950s, 1930s, or 1920s, the roaring 20s, typically ruffians and gangsters and bootleggers were typically out late at night, you know, and that typically caused problems. In the 1970s, 1960s, late 50s, you had the free love movement. Concerts like Woodstock, drugs, STDs were on a freaking rise. STDs were on a rise. In the 80s, you had crack. gang members and gangsters and crack well into the 90s and the early 2000s. Today, this is a multifaceted saying. It holds true, but it's multifaceted today. What do I mean by it is multifaceted? It's got multiple levels. And I'm going to say one of them. Nothing good happens after midnight or after the sun goes down if you're not of the 20%. What does that mean? Well, they're able to access bars and clubs that we're not able to access. They're able to have memberships to certain areas, certain parts of society that the rest of the regular 80% are not able to have access to. What I mean by 20%, there's the people that typically have a black card, have been invited to the black card crew, American Express black cards holders. The rest of the 80, nothing good happens after the sun goes down because you don't have access to those secure clubs, to those secure venues. You don't have access to them. And the black card membership is about 10%, probably less. So they have pretty much pick the litter among the 10%, among the 20%. You know? Now, I'm explaining to you where I stand on the 80%. I am mid to low 80s. The second, I'm to the point where it could either well, I'm barely holding on to a coin flip, if that. But the second they legalize polygamy, and they're more than likely probably going to do it. The second they legalize polygamy, it's a wrap. You know, if they legalize polygamy, it's a wrap. It's a complete wrap. And we all know that women are looking at the top 20%, and we're catching the blame for it, for whatever the top 20% of men do. You know, but don't go and try to help them or let their ascot get ruffled, get wrinkled, or their nice dress shirt get wrinkled. Well, it's going to be real interesting. How about Palandry? Don't know what Palandry is. I do not know what Palandry is. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh, Palandry. And we're gonna have to figure that one out. Uh, and why Palandry? Oh boy, you mean women with more than one husband? Shoot, I ain't gonna be part of that one. I ain't gonna be part of that one. Palandry. Oh man, or Pelagant, or whatever they call it. I ain't gonna be part of that one. Mm-mm. No, no. Look here, my retirement package is them rinsing me out of my truck in buckets with buckets. You know, because I croaked in the truck, and the sun basically turned me into a nice stew from 110-degree heat. Well, Blandry has an is interest sounds interesting. It's very interesting. But as much as I would be flattered by the offer of being one of her consorts, I would have to respectfully decline. You know, see, the thing is like there's only a certain amount of holes that you can use, and before it gets real creative. But before you end up it gets real creative, and then you end up as looking like a cuttlefish, you know, a smaller cuttlefish. Yeah, no, thank you. Uh, no, thank you. Just no, just no. But there are some people that will accept that life. But the thing is, like, how does pregnancy work? How does pregnancy work for that one? But then again, hey, I'm just apparently a misogynist. It's not my problem. It's really not my problem anymore because I'm just your everyday, ordinary, normal motherfucker. Yeah, I went there. But the thing is, it's just like I said. First things foremost, there would I would have first things the Belandry pretty much adds another problem. First things foremost, I would have to basically be propositioned for something like that. And with the likelihood of me being propositioned for something like that, not it's slightly higher than it's higher than me having a traditional relationship, and it's higher than way higher than me having multiple concerts. But the problem is, if it's finally gotten to me, then that means the pickings are slim. Have gotten slim for them. I mean, with all the damage to my value that I've done to myself, oh man, with all the damage to my value I've done to myself, I mean, yeah, I might be able to regain some value, but it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time. I ain't worried about it. I don't worry about it. There's no point. Wouldn't help. So basically, Palandry, no thank you. I appreciate the offer, but no. Yeah, I mean, I am flattered that they offered if they offer, but no, it's not worth it. Because now you're in competition with other men for one hole. Because now you're in competition with other men for one hole or two holes, sometimes three. But you're in competition with other men for one hole. And that can get very interesting, I should say. Very interesting. It's bad enough that I'm not competing with another man other than myself. But if I gotta compete, it's gonna be with myself, pretty much. There's no point. So Palandry is a no. Palandry is a no. It's a no go. So, anybody heard anything about the trucker convoy up in Canada, or it's going to be coming to America? Like for me, I make strides, but they're a little. Some of them are big, some of them are small. But I figured I'm beginning to realize that the isolation that I'm beginning to call people a lot less. Like at this point, it's like, hey, you know what? These everybody's got what they got to do. You know, but yeah, this live stream I think is going on long enough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are under attack, and that's gonna start a problem. I mean, I think it's some of the cops that know how to drive stick, or I think they just got the auto shifters. I think they just got the auto shifter tow trucks, and what's going to happen is the auto shifter is going to fail, or they just got people fresh out of school. Thing is like you put enough lead weights on that semi truck, you got a problem with the tow truck, or you put big enough tires, they can't do much. For me, I would have a. I mean, I'd start. I would if I was them. I'd start modifying my truck to have an air key, a key that shuts off the air, that shuts off access to the air brakes. You know, once you pull the brakes, shut them out, shut that access off. Have a fifth wheel puller remover. Remove the fifth wheel puller. Once that trailer's hooked up, you can't pull it. You can't do nothing. That's how a lot of companies basically keep their truck and trailer matching. But the thing is that they're arresting people and towing vehicles. The question is, who's hauling their freight? You already got a trucker shortage, right? So you're gonna basically cause a food shortage in your country. Because I don't want to go to Canada. I got a passport. I could go to Canada and haul goods for them, but I'm not gonna do it. Me personally, Canada's basically digging their own grave. Canada's digging their own grave. And once some truckers get out of jail, uh, there's companies in America that are willing to hire them, you know, that are more than willing to hire them. That are like, oh, come down here, we'll hire you. And being that they'll lose them and they'll announce their citizenship, and guess what? Their GDP is gone. Like, yep, let these people starve. Let these people who don't support the truckers, let them starve. They're educated. Then they'll get by. The Canadian truckers should take their families, move them out of Canada, and move them either in Mexico and America. You know, we need truckers. We need experienced truckers. Take their trucks, leave the country, coming to America. Our shelves will be stocked while they starve. And they'll be wondering why. And maybe then they'll get recourse. But I don't see these mandates going away. These mandates going to be are going to be. I mean, unless a wave of a miracle happens, these mandates might not be going away. But this has been going on for about an hour. I think it's time for me to hang the stream up. We're gonna call it we're gonna call it a stream. You know, it's been 45 minutes. This is Rip Pill in the Wind, signing off. Will do.
The shit's gonna hit the fan.